I couldn't tell you what my school counselor did. My guidance counselor, and that was the terminology back then.
That's right.
Guidance counselor. Right. Until I got to high school, then I met my guidance counselor when it was time for me to do a co-op job. I went to a VOTEC school, and I needed a job for co-op, so that's when my guidance counselor got involved.
Well, there's still some of that going on. That would be in the career realm of things, but we really are focused on 3 different domains. Personal, social, academic, and career is the focus of the school counselor in the schools.
Mm-hmm. Now the focus is school counselors. It's not guidance counselor anymore, because they do so much more than sit in the office and talk to students about what they should do in the future.
In the middle school, there's a lot of groups, a lot more personal, social type interactions going on, trying to get the students to behaviors and things like that.
Professional development now, so bringing in people from outside agencies into the school to teach, to work with the psychologists, social workers, counselors, and the teachers.
But having seniors, there's still that writing recommendation letters, making sure checking base with them what their plans are for after this year.
The sad thing is in my opinion, kids haven't changed. Kids haven't changed since the 70s and early 80s, since I was a kid. It's everything else around them that's changing. But yeah, social media is something that we have to wade through quite a bit here. The administrators are deep into it. Our school resource officer. A lot of times we'll tell parents if it's an issue that's happening outside of school, you have to get the law enforcement involved in it. I mean, I don't have jurisdiction over Facebook.
You almost deal with that weekly, if not a couple times a week. There's usually something on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever the latest thing is. Like, they stay ahead of us on some of that technology now.
Yeah, social media it's a tidal wave that schools are having to deal with. A lot of the stuff that's happening on social media finds its way into the school.
That's always difficult, and that goes on outside of school, and then it is, do they bring it into school? Does it create disturbance in the classroom? That's kind of where we can get involved in dealing with it. But but sometimes it goes on the weekend and we might never know about it, or always coming back from the summer is much more interesting than it used to be when I first started, because you never know what's happened over the summer when they come back to school.
A lot of times we find out about, if it's a social media issue, sometimes a student will come to us directly and say, hey, I'm having this issue with another student or other groups of students, but parents will call us and say, this person is saying this on social media, whether it's Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, whatever they're using, and there's tons of other ones that we don't even know about.
So it might start as a verbal in class, but then the bus ride home, it's free game. At night, it's free game. Well, yeah, that stuff doesn't, some of that stuff stays constant throughout, and kids don't get away from it. Whereas before, especially a rural district like here, you might have a half mile to your next neighbor. You won't see another kid till the next day. But now, if there's a conflict and it starts, it could be going on till all hours of the night.
The parents will call us and say, well, this weekend so-and-so was bullying my kid on Instagram. Okay, well, what did you do as a parent to help interview? Well, no, I want you guys to deal with it. So there's a lot of that handing off of responsibility.
We're right about at 250 to 1. We're right about at the ideal number right now. Middle school, being that the 4th graders are over in the middle school and the counselors are responsible for them, so we're above that. We're probably about 300 to 1 there, I would say, maybe 305. But then the elementary school, there's only one counselor for K through 3, which is again where there's, and that tends to be where counselors aren't utilized as much as they probably could be, especially in the world we're living in now. That's kind of still holding the old idea of career counselor type deal, vocational counselor type deal. So why do you need an elementary counselor?
A lot of school districts are going to have to hire a lot more personnel. You know, we're close, I would say, in a lot of the districts around here, we're close in the school counselor ratio.
Yeah.
You know, especially this immediate area. I mean, you go to some of the bigger schools, that could be an issue. But the issue is going to be psychologists and school social workers.
So we've been blessed to have administrators like Dr. Hack and before him Dr. Karelja that would support the counselors in our work in the last numerous years, 7-8 years in that realm. But we do have a lack of, you know, but that's where it becomes, what do you know, everywhere budgets are tight and everything.
It's
So I'm not
always
saying anything,
yeah.
you know, but yeah, 250 to 1 is the ideal, and that's what the ask of.